You know, I don't know what they call these. I mean, it's more like a plaza, but these are like, I would say this is where the tribute to the Dockham sit-in protesters is. See them?
Welcome back. It's Real People, Real Life. Enjoying a sunshiny day. David, thank you for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. My pleasure.
We're going to hopefully have a special guest here in a little bit.
Lavonta Williams, yeah, the vice mayor, is going to join us.
But we wanted to show you this first. This is actually a tribute to the 1958 Dockham set-in protesters. Man, I've seen this so many times. Good, your participants over here.
Yeah, and these are all the people that were at the Dockham drug sit-in. You know, this is here is part of the Redbud Trail. But these are all, and they were all students in the student organization of the NAACP. So these were very young people, you know, that were doing this. I mean, they really, and this, you know, Chester, and I knew him. He was one of the leaders of it. And he was a native Wichitan.
Right.
He was an attorney.
Right, right.
One of the first black lawyers in Wichita, I do believe.
Wow.
The thing is with this, it was the first sit-in in the United States.
I remember that.
You know, I mean,
we're famous for this right here. We were the first ones.
And this, Robin, you know where the Ambassador Hotel is?
Yes.
That's where
this is where that was.
The old Brown building.
Right, right. Yep. Man, look at this. Look at that.
It's weird because there's actually people downtown in Wichita.
Yeah, right.
I know, right? Haven't seen that.
You don't see that in about 40, 50 years.
Prentice Lewis was one of the leaders.
Yeah, he was an urban staffer and served in numerous local and state government and advisory councils. Who do we have down here? Oh, wow.
And this guy here, he was
U.S. Army helicopter pilot.
George Johnson.
First African-American child to attend Wichita Public Schools, 1874. First elected black official in Sedgwick County, becoming a policeman in 1896. Commander in the National Guard. Wow. Okay, let's see who else we have here.
Dr. Turner here was a dentist, black dentist. His office was up there on 21st Street forever.
Yeah, Dr. Turner, great dentist.
And then our black fire chief.
Ronald Blackwell. Who do we have over there?
George Boyd. These were the Tuskegee Airmen. George Boyd's still alive. He's around. I've known him for years. He's a wonderful. He's, I think, almost in his 90s now.
Wow.
Yeah, George is.
And then over here you have Reverend
Val Lou. Huh.
Yeah, let's see, Kansas missionary for the National Baptist Convention.
And Tabernacles, where Dr. Lincoln, Reverend Dr. Lincoln Montgomery is now.
First African-American woman elected to the Kansas legislature, 1991 to 2004.
I mean, just a sweetheart.
I remember her, yeah.
Absolutely.
She was.
She died about 2-3 years ago.
Yep, she did. So basically, community leaders honoring those individuals who have given their time, talent, and unselfish dedication to the African-American community in Wichita, Kansas. This is a beautiful, I mean, it's a walkway, you know, it's part of the old trail. But let's go see some of our friends that we're going to be seeing here. We've seen them on the show before. Ready? Here we go.
Joe, well, she's almost in her 90s now, and her husband, they're both very old. Their son goes to our church, Val Brown Jr.
Right.
She was the first black woman on the city school board.
School board.
And he was one of the first black doctors in Wichita. Val Brown Sr. Theo Krebs. He used to come over to my mom's house, and my mom would make daiquiris, and he'd say, "Sarah, you got any of those Doctaris?" I'd say, "Yeah, Theo, we do."
Really?
Melody Miller, who was on the county commission. Remember she ran again and lost against Renzo?
I remember.
I didn't mean to bring that up, Melody, but hey.
Sorry, Melody.
In fact, I spoke to her yesterday.
How's she doing?
She's great.
She doing good?
Great.
Hi, Olita. We love you. And her mother, oh my gosh.
Mama, yeah. Aretha.
Aretha.
And then Bonita's mom, dad, Rip Gooch. He was one of the first that had black people in the United States that had an FBO, fixed base operation for aviation.
Right. Pilot,
and
aviation.
Dr. Rogers, he was at WSU for years, minority studies.
Yep.
He's still with us.
Other issues and different answers on KTV.
Yeah.
Yay, Lavonta! We've had Lavonta on the show before.
I know, yeah.
She is currently our vice mayor. Congratulations, Lavonta. What an amazing lady. What an amazing lady. And of course, we have Carl Brewer. Served in, I mean, he was our mayor. He was a pretty cool guy. And I have to tell you a story about Carl, okay? When we were at a little local farm and art market, I ran into him and I said, "Hey, Carl, how's it going?" And he goes, "Good, how are you?" And I'm like, "Good, except I really wanted to buy some duck eggs from this lady over here. But she says she has all of her paperwork ready, but she's missing one signature." And Carl goes, "Duck eggs? I've never had duck eggs. What do we got going on over here?" So he walks over to this lady's, the back of her truck, and she's talking to him about duck eggs and how healthy they are for you. And he was like, "Well, let me see your paperwork." "Oh, I can sign that."
Oh, wow.
Signs it, and she gets to keep selling, and he actually bought duck eggs. And it was a couple days later, and I got a message from him. He goes, "Those were good."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Now you know, duck eggs." That's
I've
my
eaten them a few
my
times.
story on
They're a
him.
little richer than chicken.
So this is one of the areas, and you can kind of look down this whole walkway. I mean, I think they've done a great job.
Oh, is it? That's the
And we are
long
going to head over now to the other part of the park. I think we all know who this is right here. The one and only Mr. Barry Sanders. Big NFL history, NFL Hall of Fame. Wow.
He's my favorite running back to watch.
I know,
All time.
right?
Oh, yeah.
God, this is a great place out here.
I didn't realize until halfway through his Detroit career is from Wichita.
You didn't realize that?
Uh-uh.
And of course, a huge shout out to Antoine Carr. Man, I remember him and Cliff Livingston when they played at WSU. They were called the Bookends. Man, and this was the old WSU, right? So it wasn't near as much seating. But boy, how they made it to the top four back in the 80s. I think it was like 82.
It was 1980 because they
Was
beat
it
the
80?
Iowa Hawkeyes to go to the Final Four.
Oh, I used to
When I was 10
all
years
the
old
time.
living in Iowa. It was terrible.
He's such a nice guy, and he's done. Now he showed up to help on some of the Rudy Love documentary stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think the only thing that we've got a couple of pictures of, but we're missing Rudy Love's picture.
We're looking.
We're still looking for you, Rudy. Talk about another fantastic Wichita lady. Oh my gosh, Lynette Woodard. You can't say enough about Lynette. I mean, this is one totally awesome lady, and I want to say thank you to her for what she's doing to help with the Rudy Love documentary as well. I mean, I think you have some stuff where you guys were all together.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys get any hoop action going?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, well, thank you, Lynette, man. What another awesome Wichita lady. There's some good people here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know.
Legends.
God
Real
bless
life.
67214, because I always tell kids it doesn't matter where you live.
Right
Doesn't
on.
matter what your zip code, how much money you have. That's not important. It's who you are.
Here we are once again, Real People, Real Life, with one of our favorite ladies, Vice Mayor. Woohoo! I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness. So you
Thank
tell
you.
us, we've been kind of getting some video around here. Tell us, oh my gosh, honey, this is amazing. And how did you do it? How did you start it?
We just had a vision of making sure that we were bringing art and history to the community. So that was so important. So we had just a regular railroad track, and it was going to be a rails to trails situation. And so I said, I want something different. I want some art along that trail. I want this to be a lot different than any other. And so we sit down with some of the artists in the community, people that have worked for USD 259, and we just came up with these ideas for all three of the resting points along here. So all three have history and art. And these tile, it will take you
Unbelievable.
forever to
I
read
know.
all
You
of
could
the
spend an
information.
entire
Do
day
you
here.
know that homeschool kids are now coming here to read these or to look at some of this
Now
art
that's good
and
news.
to look at that at 13th and Roosevelt, because it's a project.
Right.
It's a history project. So it's not just a one ethnic situation. I had a group coming in from one of our rural communities, and you'll find here some of the things about the Fairmount neighborhood area, which is where Fairmount College started from.
Right.
And so we have some of the history of Fairmount College. So it's a tremendous amount of history of what goes on in this community, and I hope that we continue this type of project throughout the city of Wichita.
When the last time that we had you on, and I think I said again, you know, that you have done so much to improve the lifestyle, the community, the people. You have done so much, and this is definitely you.
This is huge.
Big. This is
huge. I wanted to recognize people that have really made a contribution. So here you'll find some of the athletes who made a contribution. And Antoine Carr couldn't be here, but his brothers were so proud when they were here.
Yeah.
And you have people like Kelly Pete, who now goes by another name, but he's going to come back and he wants to get involved in some things. You recognize two of the African American mortuaries and morticians that were here, and the history that they've had in this community. So it's so much more than just a regular bike path.
Exactly. I mean, this is a whole learning experience.
Absolutely.
You know what I love about Levante is like, this could have become a neighborhood eyesore.
It could have.
And just now, it's like a park. Because I walk up and down it, it's like walking in a park. I mean,
and we haven't so far, let me knock on something, haven't had any vandalism, a little bit on the sidewalk, but they didn't touch the art.
Good.
They did not touch the art. It was on the sidewalk. And so I think it brings a sense of pride, because at first the community here said, no, we don't want that behind our house. We don't want this behind, because people will come through here and we'll end up with vandalism and theft. And so now they're so excited to have this within their own community, and to be able to go through and read and look, and the artists that provided all of the things that you see, they were so excited.
You had a ribbon cutting ceremony.
Oh, we had a ribbon cutting.
And I really wanted to be here.
It was like no other ribbon cutting we've ever had.
I wanted to be here so bad. I was so happy for you guys. Oh.
And so staff immediately said, we've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
So we had the griots telling stories. We had a Rise who was singing. And these are groups that are well known in this part of the community. And we had singing, we had dancing with kids. We had some of the, I call them celebrities, like Lynette Woodard was here. And so they wanted pictures beside Lynette and her photograph. And
Love Lynette.
it was, we shot biodegradable graffiti into the air once the ribbon was
Really?
cut. None other. It's never been done.
That was really awesome.
So as we cut, the graffiti went into the air, and no other time have we ever done that.
But you just finished another project that we just kind of snagged you away from something.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
It used to be called the Center for Health and Wellness, and it's now called Health Corps. And it's a facility that doesn't turn anyone away, no matter what their health card status. And so we are now getting ready to add prescriptions. We're getting ready to add mental illness capabilities.
Thank you.
So all of those things will now be built into that Health Corps facility.
Where's that located?
Teresa Lovelady has done a beautiful job. 27th maybe in 2700 block of 21st Street.
Okay.
Down
And
right by
it's-
Central Park, 21st and Grove.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're open to anybody?
They're open to anybody.
All ages?
Because every now and then everybody falls on their face for a little bit. So there's no need to be ashamed, and there's no need to be concerned about going in with a card, because they're not going to turn you away. And so people are very hesitant to mention mental illness, but we know it exists. And so going into that facility, you'll be able to be assisted even there for mental illness, prescriptions, all of the healthcare needs that a community has.
Right.
We'll be able to take care of that.
You know, we lost so much of the funding for mental health.
Absolutely.
And here in this area, thanks to somebody in Topeka. But
we're not going to mention any names.
I'm not going to say
That's
nothing
just like
bad.
I didn't mention any names about 13th and Oliver and some people who took away prescriptions.
I'm with you.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I
They're
know,
from
right?
Bentonville.
I know, right?
This is a wall.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I love about that mental health thing, though, is like You may not be mentally ill today, but you might have some tragic consequence in your life.
Absolutely.
You never know.
And you need help
Absolutely.
getting through it. I mean, I need someone to talk to, so I just call Robin.
I know, right?
Everybody has
Right.
a downtime.
Right.
Everybody has a downtime.
Right.
And so when you have those times, it's great to be able to say, let me run here and see what they're thinking, or to be able to just talk to somebody.
talk.
So it's
Right.
very important, whether we have the mental illness, whether we have a drug addiction, all of those are so important. We need people to understand that.
Are veterans allowed to go?
You know, there's something coming up on veterans, and I really want to attend that. It's a seminar, but yes, veterans can attend that. And that's another group of people that we need to be focusing on.
Oh, big time.
I just don't think that we put enough focus on our veterans, our people who
you.
have served us,
Thank
and
you.
then a city sometimes acts like they don't have time to serve them.
Correct.
And so I'm always concerned about our veterans, and there are some times that we have a day of giveaway for the veterans, and I love to go there and to thank them for their service, and to just encourage them to bounce back if they can.
Right.
So that's really important to me as well.
I think as a community leader, you have definitely always been one of my favorites.
Thank you.
This woman works tirelessly. Okay, we weren't even planning on doing this until like the last minute last night.
I know.
But you want to see how accessible a wonderful person is to her community. In less than 24 hours, here she is.
But you know, I did 35 years as a teacher, and as a teacher, you're a public servant. In
Right.
this capacity, I still consider myself a public servant.
Right.
And so that's what I do. And you know, I think everybody has a purpose, and so right now, God has asked me to have this purpose, and so I'm following what He asked me to do. And so to make a difference in the community is what I strive for every single day.
You do.
And so that's why the 13th and Oliver piece affected me so much. It hurt me because it was hurting my community.
Right.
So we're going to definitely work really hard to fill that position as we work on filling other positions. We have more than a couple of empty
we have
buildings.
a couple of issues too that had to do with obtaining groceries. I mean, a simple thing.
It created a food desert.
It did.
Created a food desert because
Okay.
you also created an opportunity to say, well, Dillon's, you might as well leave.
Right.
From 13th and Woodlawn, which was a Dillon's that I used to frequent all
Right.
the time as well. So it did leave us with over a mile to go for fresh fruit and vegetables. And so that's why it's so important for me to make sure that we are luring someone into this position.
Good, because I mean, you know, if they're handicapped or wheelchair bound, or you have small children that have to go with you, a mile doesn't seem like a lot.
Absolutely.
But wait until you walk that mile or you wheelchair that mile, and then you got to carry your groceries back a mile.
Mm-hmm. And transit doesn't
Right.
suffice. That doesn't get it. And for me, that grocery store and that facility was so much more than just a grocery store.
It was.
Because you have a community that right now is high in diabetics. And so that
Correct.
gave those diabetics, that gave people an opportunity to walk. They were within walking distance
Right.
of that particular grocery store. So they could get on their bikes. And I've seen this so many times. So that was a tremendous loss for our community. And it's taking me a while to get over that. So I'm
I
still
can
not completely
understand.
over that. We worked very hard to get it in there, very hard. And I truly understand the way our rural community feels as well.
Right.
Some of those where that was the only facility.
And they have nothing there
And now
now.
they have nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And their store, I know at least one place had only been open 2 years.
Right.
And so ours was 4 years. And
They weren't even like they were, old
It was
buildings that needed repairs. or
really good
anything.
buildings, and that's where I want to fill it as soon as possible because I don't want it to become an eyesore.
Right.
I knew Quick Trip was leaving. They
Right.
came in beforehand to tell me,
Right.
and at that time I told him, "Don't come telling me bad news." And he said, "Well, I told you that we weren't going to move." He said, "Then you should hear from me first that we are going to leave." And I was very appreciative of him coming in and letting me know that that was going to happen.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Have you talked to people from Aldi's?
Aldi's we have not. I think it may be too close, but Save-A-Lot is looking.
Oh, good.
So
That's a good one,
Save-A-Lot
too.
is
Okay.
looking. They are going into another area that has a food desert. At least they're working on it. And so then they're going to come back and they're going to see, will this work? The thing is I don't want us to be competition.
Right.
So if Save-A-Lot is here, I don't really want it to be that much of a competition for the one at 13th and Grove.
Gotcha.
And so that's what we're looking at. And I think that this is an area that needs a Save-A-Lot or an Aldi or a
Right.
Leakers.
Well, the reason I mentioned Aldi's is because I just read an article yesterday that they are wanting to expand stores
Maybe I
here.
will stop in there.
Yeah, do.
You know, because I was listening to a newscast this morning, and it was basically talking about the same thing. People are used to now saving their money and shopping where they can and saving their money. So some people said, as opposed to going Walmart, they'll go to the Family Dollar, Dollar General, or Dollar Tree,
Right.
because they're getting the same type of commodities that they would at a big box store. And so we're used to going to Aldi's, Save-A-Lot, picking up some of the things that we need.
I love my
So,
Aldi's. I
absolutely.
do. You know, and they're going some of that
The
more
fresh fruit and vegetable is very reasonable.
very reasonable. You know, and I have to have my cucumbers for my cucumber water, and I'm you know, I love all their fresh fruit and salads. So man, if you get an Aldi's over here, I'll be happy.
I know. Maybe I'll stop in and talk to them. I can visually see about 2 or 3 Aldi's in the city. I know down south.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's one on South Seneca,
Yeah.
and then there's one on Mays Road.
Is it?
Central Mays and South Seneca. But those are the only two I'm aware of.
21st and Amadon.
Oh, is there? Okay, 20%.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Oh, they probably so, because they did have a Save-A-Lot at 21st and Amadon, and then they lost that. So
21st and Woodlawn. I know where they are.
you know where they are. So Aldi's, if you're listening.
Yes, Aldi's. We want you. We want more stores, okay, in Wichita. They're a fantastic.
But I will
brand.
tell you that building is very expensive. They are very competitive, so they are monitoring who goes in there. The building itself is probably 2.5, 2.6 million.
Right.
And they do not want to lease. They are right now saying they would prefer to sell it. So they are working with us, and I'm very grateful of that, working with us as we struggle through trying to make sure that we pull in something that's going to be beneficial to the community.
Okay, right. What else are some of the? I mean, you are so busy, honey. I could just sit here and talk to you forever. What are some of the other things that you've got going so much going on?
Well, and we had so many bicycle connections within the last 2 weeks. Out at Great Plains Nature Center, we revitalized that bike path there.
That looks really good.
And this one actually goes all the way over to Woodlawn.
Okay.
This bike path goes over to Woodlawn. However, we just did the 3 pause points along this particular part of the city. So we're looking at making all of those connections. We just found out that we're one of 50 cities that is saying let's take it outdoors, because our kids don't play outside the way they used to.
They need to.
They don't play outside the way they used to. So as we look at our aquatics plan and we're saying, oh, the kids aren't swimming, they just don't go outside.
Right.
They stay inside and play all of the
Video
things that they
games
want
and
to do
all that.
inside. So we're definitely looking at a swimming pool versus a splash pad.
Cool.
I have
like
gone
that.
into schools and had the schools vote for me, and I tell them the process of voting as I'm asking them these questions. So we had this many who said that and this many who said that, but voting doesn't always have to be a unanimous. I mean, it doesn't always have to be everybody on one side.
Right.
So we taught kids the power of voting while we were asking them about swimming pools versus splash pads, and so that was pretty exciting. I did.
You got to
I
talk
did.
to them about voting?
Yes.
I love that. Somebody
It
needs
was
to do
voting because I told them a lot of people don't vote, so
Right.
then that just tells people that you don't care what
Right.
goes in, but you are sitting here and you're telling me that the splash pad is something you would prefer over a swimming pool. Thank you so much for voting and helping me make that decision.
Right.
And so we were teaching them. I always take a teachable moment.
I know you do. Well, I know you do, which is fantastic.
I always take a teachable moment.
What's your opinion on the building that they're going to do, I think, at WSU for the new police
Love
academy?
it. Love it.
It's going to be like a wowza.
I love it. You know, as we talked to our county commissioners, my thing to them was that is about economic development. That also, for me, if I had a student at Wichita State, I would say, oh, they're building a law enforcement training center. That's going to be great. That's going to be additional security for my kids.
Exactly.
Because we know we've had a few
We've
incidents.
had a few
We've had a
bad
few
incidences.
bad incidents.
Yeah.
And so I think this will also give parents peace of mind of where their kids are. But this also, for me, it helps lure diversity into our police department.
I agree
And
with that.
you should really have a conversation with the new police chief.
We're waiting
Oh, he's so
to
awesome.
see. I think so.
He is.
Everything that I've heard, everybody that I've talked to has said that he is.
He is.
I know he wants to come on,
Good.
and then Sheriff Easter wants to come back with.
Oh, I
another.
love Sheriff Easter
I do
too.
too.
I do.
I do too. Thank you. Well, it was really funny. We were over there in the other part of the park, and Carl Brewer's pictures there, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
I was reliving the story about the whole duck egg situation. I think I told you that before.
Yes.
But I always adore him. He was a
I
great
love
guy.
Sheriff Easter, and I think you're going to feel the same way about the new chief. As a matter of fact, he just called because I went to D.C. to talk about a topic that not everybody likes to talk about, but it's gun violence. And so I got the call from the White House, and they said, can you come? Yeah.
Okay.
Can you come? And I was like, yeah. So I did go, and I want to talk to the chief about some of those things, but that's going to help diversify our police department because those kids will be able to have a class in that building about criminal justice.
Right.
So hopefully that's going to help us recruit for our police department. Right now, I know of at least 2 basketball players that are police officers, former basketball players from Wichita,
Right.
one being my son.
Oh, that's right. I keep
So to be able to lure students from the campus into that arena would be very, very
would be
good.
very
It would be
nice.
really good.
Very
We could
nice.
go on and on for days.
I know, right? I want to come down there, to hang out with you guys
Sure.
and sit down and talk with you. You tell us where you want us to meet
Absolutely.
you.
That'd be great.
Give me a couple weeks.
Today we have bicyclists coming in. They'll be coming in. They actually bicycled from Mexico. So
Really?
they do this every year. And so they'll be in between 4:30 and 5. And so we'll go down and we'll meet them there and welcome them to the city. And then we have another group that's coming in from Talanapantla. So they'll be here during the River Festival.
Right.
And it'll be awesome. And we're building a house right there downtown for Habitat. So
Seriously?
I
Oh
love
my
Habitat
gosh.
too.
Right?
And so we'll be building a house right there between Water Walk and that area, that grassy area.
That
there.
is way cool.
And so we have a group coming in from Russia who wants to see what Habitat is doing as well. So there's a lot going on.
I am so proud of you, girl.
I love it.
Oh my Lord.
But one day we'll have to walk through an area that Habitat has completely worked on their infill. Because infill is so important in bringing the neighbor back to neighborhood.
Right.
And so they've done that along that a particular area, and it's so exciting to have new people in the neighborhood, and they all watch out for each other.
I like
It's
that.
just
I like
awesome.
that. I mean,
And it's diverse. It created a diverse community, and that is so what every city needs. And so I love it. I love it. But there's a lot going on. You'll have to come down.
we have to go to her office and have her sit down for a little while, and she can get us or tell us where you want us to be,
We will do that.
and we'll show up anytime
We'll
we
do
possibly
that.
can.
That'll be great. That'll be great.
We have one of the best leaders Wichita could ever ask for.
When you're born and raised here, it makes a difference.
I know, doesn't it?
You know,
Yeah.
you look at everything, and who would have thought this golf course one day is going to be full of buildings?
I know, right? I know.
And we have one building, the first time that a building has been built facing the community.
Right.
And so
I
we're
noticed that.
proud of that
Uh-huh.
because that says our doors are open. We
Correct.
welcome you to come in. Carl Brewer and I went to something out at the Cotillion, and
Yeah.
the love they sang.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Oh,
George
it's great.
Clinton?
Yes.
What was it out there? Something like
Yeah, George Clinton.
Yes.
The funk guy.
The
What,
Funkadelic.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
you went to that? Wow,
I
that's-
did.
That was your day, though. Hey.
I know, right?
I'm just me.
Okay, seriously, Levanta Williams, the best representative I think that we've had here in Wichita. We can't say thank you enough to her, because a lot of the things that you see that are so positive and making big differences in so many ways is thanks to this lady right here.
It's the people. It's people like you.
Oh, honey.
It's
no,
people like
it's
you.
you.
You know.
I'm just here to.
But you have to ask the community, what else do we need? What are we missing? I mean, I ask WSU students, you're leaving? Why are you leaving? What is Wichita not doing that would keep you here? What do we need to be doing? And so it's constantly about the people.
Right.
You know, I have very little without the community that's here. So I really go by what's going on in the community. It's so important.
That's my point, is that you do get out there and you do communicate with the community, and a lot of times I don't see that with some other folks.
Maybe some of them don't have time. Some of them still have jobs.
Oh, okay.
Some still have jobs. I don't know that I'd be able to be out as much if I were still working.
Right.
But I don't think I would try.
Yeah.
I think it would be too hard. I could not teach and still do this.
Correct.
So I appreciate what I'm doing. Some people take a break from their jobs and then do this and then go back. But the community that we live in is very important, and I believe that it's my responsibility to listen to the people that I serve.
I love this lady. Real people, real life. We're going to be seeing a lot more of her. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, sweetheart.